Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to spend some time today going over some more of my favorite Prismacolor combos for coloring flowers. That video has recently just been so popular and a couple of people have said they'd like to see more of that. So I thought I would hop on today and roll a video with a couple more combinations for you guys to try. So stick around and we'll get started. If this is your first time joining me today, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. What we're going to do is color in this Ivy and the Inky Butterfly book. I got it for Christmas. This is my first time to color on this page or any pages, so I'm really excited to do this. So let me get the first color combo set up for you guys, and we'll be right back. Okay, the first combo we're going to do will be to color this leaf right here. And I've picked out cream, chartreuse, and this is apple green and a very tiny grass green. And I will put all of these combos in the description for the video, so don't worry about pausing and writing them down unless you absolutely want to, but there's no need. I've got you covered. So what we're going to do is work on this leaf right here. And I'm going to, my system, I always start lightest color into the darkest color. So we're going to put a little bit of the cream just on the very outside of this leaf here, just on the very edges. And I have so enjoyed, it's so fun for me to see which videos y'all like versus which ones don't do as well. And that helps me curate better content to share with you guys. So when you do a like, that lets me know you really like this one. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you do a dislike. Sometimes we don't have to like every video. So please, if you don't like it, dislike it. And at least I'll know then people don't like it. Okay, so that's the cream. Now I'm going to put down a little chartreuse. And I'm just overlapping the cream just barely, just a little bit. There we go. And it's so interesting to see all the different color combos of leaves that exist in nature. I love the leaves that have like the, is it on caladiums that have the pink or the purpley veins in it with the greens? It's so pretty. And I'm sitting here in Texas, and I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't sport, so that's not a big deal to me. But it's chilly outside, and I'm dreaming of spring. So I thought it'd be fun to do some fun spring combos. Okay, so here I'm using the apple green. We'll get that laid down in here. And I'm just doing a real light layer. No big deal. And don't worry if your ratio is a little unbalanced. So like, see how I have more apple green than on this side, but the leaf is kind of turned to the side. So it's really not a big deal. We don't strive for perfection here. We just strive for trying new things and having fun. Okay, the last thing now is the grass green. So I'm going to use the grass green to really highlight this vein. And we're maybe going to just color a little bit to the right of it. I hope I'm not covering that up with my hand. A little bit to the left of it. Okay, now we're going to go back in with the apple green, and we'll go the other way. That always reminds me of when I was roller skating in the 70s and 80s as a little kid. I think you'd go around the rink one way, and then the little DJ would yell, "Go the other way," and his little girls would all scream and run into each other as we're trying to turn around and go the other way. It was total chaos, and I hope that you don't feel like your coloring page is total chaos. I hope we can do better than that. So this apple green is so pretty. It's, I tend to always reach for my spring green and forget about the apple green. So I thought today we'd just show it a little love. Okay, now the chartreuse. I can't believe I just said oopsie. I say that to my dog all the time. Oopsie. And he gives me the same look that you guys probably have on your faces right now. Okay, chartreuse. We're overlapping that a little bit into the apple green. And get that up in there a little bit with the cream. So this is a very pretty springy color, these leaves, or this leaf. Here we go with the cream, and now I'm just going a little bit darker. Make sure that cream will show up. All right, now we're going to go darker with the Chartreuse. Okay, get that in there. All right, apple green, you're up. Okay, I'm really liking the way this is turning out. This is really pretty. It's different from, you know, what I normally use is the green combo in the first video y'all watched. That is my absolute favorite green combo. And for those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you probably see that green all the time in my pictures, but it's my favorite and I love it and I can't help it. I just need to use it. So I always like finding new and interesting green combos to try. Okay. I think that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is take this grass green. We're going to come in and I'm just outlining the vein and then I'm just sort of lightly coloring around it just a little bit, going over the line on top of and bottom of the line. Oops, got a little more stuff there. You can see I've got a little white space still in here. I always try to get rid of, this is when I fight the perfectionist in me. I try to get rid of all the white space. I'm not always good at it. And sometimes I just need to learn to let go and be okay with it. So I'm going to try to choose that today. Otherwise, this would be a very long video. I probably should have this pencil in a pencil holder. Okay, here. And sometimes it's these little details that sort of finish the leaf or whatever you're working on. It's just that last little detail, and then you look at it and think, oh, that just really made it pop a lot more. It's a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. And you know, so don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, so now what I think I want to do is take the apple green, pull it down. We're going to green this out just a little bit at the bottom of the leaf. And then pull that into our grass green, which will be the rest of the stem and flowers. So there you go. So that's combo number one. And I will be right back with combo number two. Okay, we're back with combo number two. So this is actually going to be our first flower combo. And I've got a bluish purpley color combo for us. It's going to be light aqua, non-photo blue, blue violet lake, and lilac. And you can actually use the new, I should have pulled the new purple Prisma colors that they came out with. But if you don't have the lilac, you can use whatever that new one is. I think it's Amethyst maybe that replaces this one, but I can't remember exactly. So my apologies. I will put it in the description. So we're going to color this guy here. And what I love about this, it's just such a pretty combo. This one I got off of Pinterest, and I think it was My Coloring Country Life has these Prisma combo sheets out there. And this is one of hers, so I can't take credit for it, but it's so pretty. And like I said, and I tell you guys this all the time, I find so many color combos off of Pinterest. And then sometimes I try them out and I tweak them if I don't like them, or maybe it's only like a 3-color combo, so I'll find another pencil to add, things like that. But it's always a good starting place. And I just, you know, it's probably my favorite rabbit hole out there. I should probably be banned from Pinterest to save my sanity. So it just, anyway, I just love it. I love Pinterest too much. I do have a little Snickerdoodling Pinterest board. I don't have a whole lot out there. I tried pinning a lot of these combos out there for you guys, but I haven't done it in a while. So if you see any out there that you like, feel free to repin them, but don't feel obligated. Okay, so this is the Blue Violet Lake. And again, we're just doing a real light layer. And then this is the lilac right here at the very bottom. I don't know what kind of flower this really is. So I'm probably not doing it. I'm probably doing a disservice to it by just making up colors for it, but that's what I do. I also like to color blue dragons, so who knows what I'm going to come up with. Okay, so there's the lilac. Now we're going to go back in and overlap it with the blue violet lake. Get a really nice overlap. Sometimes this combo is a little harder to overlap, but if you just really work on it, maybe press down a little harder, you can get those colors to overlap, and it's really pretty. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, so now we'll go to the non-photo blue. And this, I overlap this definitely back into the blue violet lake to mix it up. So pretty. But I hope you guys like this combo. This is one that I really love to play with. I'm going to go back in with this blue violet lake, make it a little darker here. There we go. And now the violet at the end. Oh, I said violet. I meant light aqua. You know what I meant. You knew what I meant. You guys are smarter than me. Always so much smarter than everybody's smarter than me. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. I think if you're the smartest person, then you're going to end up with the most responsibility, and I don't want that. So I'm okay with not being the smartest person in the room. Isn't that pretty? And what we can do here with these little ends is just add a little of the lilac back in. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, we can even take a little blue violet lake at the very bottom of that. And Perfectionist Kim, I need to get that. Okay, so that is flower number 1. Oh, wait, no, it's not. We didn't do this part, but I guess that part would actually be green. Okay, I'm okay with that. That's flower combo number 1. We'll be right back and we'll do combo number 2. Okay, combo number 3, which is actually flower combo number 2, will be 5 colors. Don't be afraid. We've got, let's see, this is in the wrong order. Blush pink, pink, magenta, pomegranate, and my favorite, Tuscan Red. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make the tips lighter and then put the darker color up here where you can see, again, like I always say, sometimes the illustrator gives us little tips on where the shadow should be. So we'll go darker as the petal goes closer to the center of the flower. So we're going to start out with the blush pink. And then take the pink. This is just a real easy combo and I love it, but it's so pretty. And then magenta. You can see that's a big jump from the pink to the magenta. So I'm going to lightly put a little bit of the magenta back up into the pink. Then we go pomegranate. And then the very, very teeny bottom, Tuscan Red, where those deepest shadows will be. And in Johanna's books, you'll see a lot of these very leafy, petally flowers that she likes to draw. So this would be a good combo to apply on something like that. Okay. We're going to really mix that pink into that magenta. And then just lightly bring it up into the blush pink. And then when we get to the blush pink, it's a very easy blend for us. Isn't that pretty? All right, so what I'm going to do is speed color the rest of this flower, but I'm going to follow the same process. Light to dark, dark to light. So I will be right back. Okay, since this speed coloring is taking quite a while, I'm going to color the rest off camera and we'll be right back. Oh my lands, somewhere between the last video and this one, my microphone went out. So all these recordings I have for the rest of this session have no sound. So I'm trying to go back and do a voiceover and remembering what I talked about as I was actually coloring. So for this one on this flower, I went back and got a very sharp black pencil, and I'm just going back over some of the line art, especially with Prismacolor. Sometimes when you color over the lines, that wax bloom will gray out the line and make it sort of a lighter gray color, sometimes even white. So I'm going back in and trying to preserve some of those lines. Also adding a little bit of shadow, just like we did in the first 5 combo Prisma video, just for a little depth and dimension. So on this, I'm just taking the black, just gently going around just some random edges here and there. You can do it all over or just in some places wherever you think it needs a little more shadow. And then you can always take one of your colors and color over, like if you take the black a little too far, you can take the blush or the pink from this combo and go back over the black to sort of blend in that shadow. And now here I'm talking about how I decided with those center petals, I wanted to make them lighter. And then the very center of the flower, I wanted to make it dark. So I wanted that contrast. So that's why I have the ring of light petals and then the dark petals in the very middle. So here now I'm taking the pink. That's the pink, not the blush pink. And I'm just sort of buffing in some of those shadows in some places. And just continuing to add a little more depth and dimension, just a little here and there, just going real gentle. Again, you just want a very sharp black pencil, and I'm using that color to fade the shadow as I go. So I hope this is helpful, and in just a second, we'll be back with the next combo. Okay, for combo number 4, we're going to do this coneflower, this echinacea, and here I'm showing you that I started out thinking I might want to do a white flower combo, but then I decided I would stick to the traditional purple coneflower combo. So I'm going to use hot pink, processed red, and lavender, and I'm only speeding up the video because I can't remember everything I said. I think I told a story about my gardening efforts here, and I'm so sorry that that's gone, and now you just get my voiceover. So I started out, I'm going backwards, going from dark to light. So I put the lavender down at the top of the coneflower, then the processed red, and now I'm using the hot pink to color in the rest of the petals. And on this, I'm just being real gentle with the layers at first, sort of overlapping them. And then as I go back, I will start to darken the flower going back the other way. I think I talked about how one of the things I do love about coneflowers or echinacea is that they are so hardy. And in my Texas garden, I need something that can be super drought tolerant and something that will come back every year. And these beauties are just the ticket for that. So I don't know if you have coneflowers in your garden. I also love that they're great for pollinators. So the bees and the butterflies love this flower. And, oh, I do remember one story I told when I recorded this. We actually had a bumblebee in our garden last year, and my husband was just with the water hose, just sort of watering the garden. And I guess he hit the bumblebee and it fell on the ground, and it literally started to charge him and started like stomping across the grass. It was just the funniest thing to see this little bumblebee try to take on a 5'10" man. So, I mean, bravo, that was like the bravest bumblebee I've ever seen, but I've never heard of such a thing. It was just aggressive, or maybe, I mean, he was just defending himself, I guess. But anyway, so I don't know why I just showed my hand there, but enjoy that. So voiceover is fun. It's always something with my setup. Anyway, so now I'm just going back over, darkening everything, really blending it together. And then at the very bottom with those petals, I'm going to take lavender and the processed red to make them darker when I get to that part. Here we go. Lavender, tuck the lavender into those little crevices for a shadow, and then the processed red, thinking that maybe it's, a little darker layer of petals under the top layer of petals. And then what I will do is get out the orange. It's orange, and I have to determine if it's a sunshine yellow or Spanish orange. I'll put it in the description either way to do the center of the flower. That's what I'll use. And I'll just mix it up a little bit. So here I'm trying to debate, what is this color? I don't know. I'll find out and I'll let you know. So I'm just mixing the, just putting the orange in little spots and then blending the whole thing with the yellowish orange color. And lastly, I'll come in with a sharp black pencil and do the same thing, just kind of reinforcing that line art that was there originally. I did mention when I'm adding a little shadow around the stamen. So I did mention that this is something that you want to do slowly. And now, of course, this is sped up big time. But if you were watching me real time, you'd see that I, wasn't too clean with my lines. And you always want to be a little closer. You always want to do it a little slower. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I'll be back with the next combo. And welcome to combo number 5. So on this combo, we're going extreme and we're using 8 colors. Do not be frightened. This is going to be so easy and they blend beautifully together. So we've got yellow chartreuse, chartreuse, spring green, true green, light aqua, aquamarine, peacock blue, and violet. And on this one, I decided to color the leaves or the petals from left to right instead of from top to bottom. And you can see here how closely these are in like different color families. So they actually blend really well together. The very last color I'm going to put down here is the peacock blue before the final color, which is violet. And I'm just using violet right along the very edge. So now I'm just going back the other way, just like we always do. Dark to light to dark, dark to light. So after this, we're going back to the light aqua, then the true green, which is coming up. Here we go. Then the spring green, chartreuse, and yellow chartreuse. So there you go. So that looks really lovely together. I really like it. I hope you do too. And I don't want you to be afraid of this. So what I'm going to do is do one more petal here with you guys. And then I will speed color the rest of the flower. And actually, maybe I will just, I'll speed color the rest of the flower so you can see what I'm doing. I already have the video of it doing the speed color, so I'll just add it to the end of this one for you so you can see it. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, to finish off this flower, I'm going to use processed red to color these little gaps. And I know that they're the gaps between the leaves, but I'm going to treat it like they're little tiny micro petals that lay on top of the other petals just for some contrast. And then I'm going to use canary yellow and our mystery yellow orange, which I will put in the description, and color the middle of the flower. And then after this, I'm going to get out my sharp black pencil and again, lay down some shadow across the different petals and you want a really sharp black pencil. Excuse me. And then I use, I think, the yellow chartreuse and then the aquamarine, depending on where the shadow is, to blend the shadow and smear it to make it a little faded. Yep, so there you'll see there's the aquamarine. And then on this side, I think I use the chartreuse. I'm sorry, the yellow chartreuse. But you can see here, I'm just gently coloring in a little bit of shadow, just ever so lightly. Yeah, I'm using the chartreuse, not the yellow chartreuse. Sorry, guys. And then aquamarine, just to make that kind of faded and blended. All right, that's it. I'll be right back. So after finishing the last flower, I thought it would be fun to try to color the white coneflower after all. So I'm using white, cream, pale sage, and gray-green light. And what I'm trying to do here, I know one of the things I was talking about was putting down the white. It's really hard to see, even on paper that's slightly tinted with like a yellowish tint like this one is. And then I'm putting some cream in, even though there's really not cream in the flower petals that I've seen, just to give it a little tone or tint. One thing that you could do if you didn't want to use yellow is you could use like a little gray to make the white stand out a little bit more, just like maybe a 10% or 20% cool gray. Now this is the pale sage, and I'm putting this in the lower layer shadowed areas of the flower. And then I decided, you'll see it in a minute, I'm grabbing a canary yellow just to add like a little tinge of that darker yellow to give it a little more color. There you go. Now you see it. And I also mentioned this really wasn't my favorite combo, but it was something I wanted to try. So it didn't hurt. I thought it was fun. A little extra bonus for you guys. And you can see what you think. After this, I'm just adding more green in just for a little more color, a little more contrast. And then blending it all out with the white. So before I had put cream down at the very bottom of the petal. So now I'm just using white to sort of blend it all together. And now I'll get my sharp black pencil. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. I'm getting my same color combo I used before with the coneflower above for the middle of the flower. And now I'm using the black outline here. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the gray-green light, the pale sage, and go back in and sort of blend in some of those shadows, and it will add a little more depth and dimension. So this isn't sort of a mainstream combo I would use every day, just something different that I wanted to try, and I thought it would be fun to try it with you guys. All right, so there you go. There are all of our color combos. We've got the leaf, and then I gave you 5 flower combos actually. So I hope this was fun for you today. I hope you found it useful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe share with your friends. Also, if you'd like to consider subscribing to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.